Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are really happy to welcome you for this conversation about pearl, about this exhibition we have now in Paris. My name is Olivier Segura. I am a gemologist, director for the School of Jewelry Art based in Hong Kong. And I am with Léonard Pouy.
Hello Olivier, very nice to be here.
We are here in Merci Argenteau in Paris for this exhibition. We had the pleasure to curate it a few months ago. It's a long history for pearls, and we are here with our fountain of pearls because we wanted to talk about the emotion, we wanted to talk about the beauty of pearls, and through this exhibition, it's a very, very long project we started very long time ago.
Exactly, started in 2017, 2018, first in the Arabo-Persian Gulf, then almost all around the world. We did some research on this fantastic topic, and this new chapter for this adventure takes place in Paris. Paris, capitale de la perle, Paris, city of pearls, is the name of this beautiful exhibition, which starts by actual pearls. It's not only about jewelry, there's a lot of paintings, illustrations, movies, in opera also in the exhibition, and of course beautiful jewelry, and this fantastic fountain of pearls. It's not natural pearls, we need to confess. They're beautiful cultural pearls from China. And we will tell you actually all about those differences between the pearls in a few minutes. Just we would like to thank Michiko and Carol, which are on the chat to help you if you have any issue. We will be more than happy with Olivier to answer to all of your questions at the end of this talk in 1 hour. And please don't hesitate to send all of your questions in the Q&A box, and like this we can read them afterwards.
We have a live translation for our friend. I know you are connected from Japan, England, London, France, obviously. So thank you. I'm really happy to see and to have our friends, I know, online. So thanks for really your commitment and your passion with us. So we will go inside the exhibition, and our first stop is to talk about the gems, the gemology of pearls on this first showcase here.
Exactly. We know there was many cliches, many preconceived ideas around pearl, and one of the first cliches we need to debunk is the grain of sand.
Exactly, because there is no grain of sand in pearls. So there is different quality of pearls. There is cultured pearls and natural pearls. So natural pearls, the pearls is born inside the oyster, the mussel, inside the mollusk, without any human intervention. By hazard, we open the shell and you can find a pearl. And in this case, there is no grain of sand. So if you have maybe only one thing to remind, no grain of sand for the natural pearls. And for the cultured pearls, it's a human intervention. So we put a graft, we put a bead inside the mollusk, and the mollusk will create some nacre around this graft or around this bead, and hence we have cultured pearl. And we wanted to talk about this because there is different kind of mollusk. Usually we talk about oysters, and here we have some example of these very large oysters who can create nacreous pearls. These are the most famous pearls, you know, probably. But there is also some different types of pearls created by gasteropods, for example, or different kind of mollusks. And we call it the non-nacreous pearl or the porcelaneous pearls. And we will see more examples inside our exhibitions. But here, for example, we have a melo, this orange pearl here, or these white pearls. And you see they are not shiny like the usual nacreous pearls. So different origin, we can find pearls almost all around the planet in the all different seas. South seas, black pearls, white pearls, gold pearls, yellow pearls. So huge diversity of material. Pearl is an amazing material. We just created a course here at l'école to talk about the pearls, and you can find it in our different campuses around the world. To me, I am a lover of pearls. For friends around the world, for my friends, you know that I really love pearls. It's a wonderful material, a lot of surprise. Please follow our courses, and if you have any questions, we will be happy to answer all of your questions at the end of the presentation. I propose to go now inside the exhibition in our different showcase and to meet Léonard to talk about pearls.
So naturally, pearls have always been a source of excitement, of fascination for people all around the world since the antiquity. But there is something happening in Paris in the very late 19th, early 20th century. Just imagine we are walking down the Rue de la Paix in Paris or Place Vendôme. This is a type of jewelry you could find in the very late 19th century in Paris. So now that you know all about pearls, you know they're quite rare, and that sometimes only 1 out of 100 oysters can give a pearl, but only one of these 100 pearls is qualitative enough, is beautiful enough to be set on a jewelry piece. Here are a few examples of what historical maisons were able to create. Maybe the true science for jewelry maison in this time was this quality of pairing pearls together. Of course, you cannot control the size, you cannot control the color, or you cannot control the shape of a natural pearl. So you need quite a very, very large amount of pearls if you want to have a perfect, regular, monochromatic row like the one you have here. But maybe if there is one piece we need to focus on here, would be this pendant by Germain Babst and Lucien Falise. They were a great maison from the late 19th century. Actually, Germain Babst was one of the very last purveyors of the French royal crown. And here, in this exquisite pendant, actually, you can discover black pearls, black natural pearls, which are extremely rare at that time. It is the exception of the exception, the anomaly of the anomaly, and to be able to set beautiful polychromous dark pearls like the one you see here on this pendant is almost impossible at that time. I know only a very, very few pieces which would be similar in quality. So this only a maison like Babst and Falise could produce at that time. But even though pearls were already almost everywhere on the Rue de la Paix and the Place Vendôme at that time, those were not the only pearls you could find around the neck of ladies from that era. There was also dynastical, aristocratic pearls that were transmitted from queens to queens from the centuries before.
We have here on this showcase a very nice example of what was previously a diadem, which was transformed by Maison Boucheron in a necklace. And here, for example, we have very white, very high, very large, very high quality pearls. These pearls are probably from Central America. Maybe you didn't know, yes, we can find natural pearls in this area. And it's even one of the most important for America and for the discovery of America. You know, of course, the story for Columbus. You know, he traveled to America thanks to the Queen of Spain to discover a new route to India, and he discovered America. And when he arrived in this region near Venezuela, Central Caribbean Islands, he found peoples, natives Americans, with a lot of pearls. And when he came back to Spain, he talked about this discovery to the Queen of Spain. At that time, pearls were so important and so expensive, and of course, no culture pearls at that time. So the Queen of Spain paid for a new travel to America to discover the source for this pearl, because a pearl at that time could cost more than a diamond, and it was very important to recover, to discover, to find, and to bring all these pearls to Europe. So this is probably the case, and you see here on this display we are really lucky, and thanks to all our lenders, to be able to display this amazing piece of jewelry. So white pearls, quite round pearls, a bit pear shapes, and Léonard is waiting at the next showcase to show you a different origin for pearls.
Yes, because there is almost a third approach we can focus on for this Belle Époque era, this early 20th century. We have pearls on the traditional maison, high jewelry maison from the Place Vendôme and Rue de la Paix. We have pearls around the necks of queens or very rich and important young American industrials. But also there is a kind of underground movement going up in Europe at that time, which now we call the Art Nouveau. And what is interesting is that even though the Art Nouveau artists and jewelers got rid of almost all the historical references from the past, trying really to be as modern as possible, there is one element which stood, which was still everywhere on their pieces, would be, of course, pearls. So it's like a third approach in a way that those pearls won't be necessarily the same that you've seen before, not the pear-shaped, not the big, not the tiny beads from the Gulf. There would be Baroque pearls, for instance, or also pearls like you have here on this absolutely exquisite Weber necklace. Those pearls actually come from the Mississippi. There are some sweet water pearls from mussels. And here, just like in any of those pieces, you can really see that it is the shape of the pearl which inspired the creation. It's not the quantity of the pearl, it would be one pearl, which would be sometimes enough. Like this pearl you have here, a Baroque pearl, which will give the jeweler the inspiration to create this owl out of a Baroque pearl, so a pearl irregular, quite large. We'll see many other ones in the exhibition later on. You can really feel here the true artistic inspiration found in this beautiful material. So you could imagine that there was already quite a golden age of pearls in Paris in the early 20th century. Just imagine that this is only the beginning of this phenomenon that we now call perlomania. And now I propose we move to the 1910s, where you will see that there will be a new, another golden age in a way, and that this movement will go even further. So we are here in the 1910s, and we wanted to focus on this beautiful design, this drawing, which was made by Georges Barbier. Georges Barbier was an artist from the early 20th century, and for the Maison Cartier, he designed this carton d'invitation. It's like an exhibition invitation, and for this exhibition, which was an exhibition for pearl jewelry, he decided to have this beautiful lady with a huge sautoir of natural pearls, and you can also notice a black panther in the back. And this is actually the first occurrence, the first time that the Maison Cartier will be associated with the pattern of the panther, and it will be such a success and such an iconic creation that obviously panthers are very much still today around in the Cartier design. So once again, you can see the importance for pearls, of pearls from the jewelry of that time. But you have to understand also that Georges Barbier was part of an important artistic circle of many artists, like Georges Le Pape, like also Irib, which was associated to them, Boutet de Monvel, and all those illustrators, very young, dandy artists, were working hand in hand with haute couture fashion designer, producing illustration for them. You'll see Laurent will show you a few designs from that time, which would be published in new fashion magazines like the Journal des Modes, Vogue, or the Gazette du Bon Ton. And you could take like hundreds of those designs. You'll see that there is one common element. It will be always pearls around the neck of the ladies. And for us, it was very important to have a focus on the 1910s, because sometimes this period is a bit like overlooked. We say, okay, it's the First World War, nothing is really going on in Paris, but it's really not the case. There was such an artistic also phenomenon around fashion, jewelry, pearls, and a lot of fantasy, eccentricity, as the mask with the pearls from Boivin that will be shown also on the screen, a beautiful golden mask, which is typical of that time. It's not so eccentric, it's really part of this artistic phenomenon. Pearls were even more present in Paris, as we'll see with Olivier, with also other type of natural pearls.
Thank you, Léonard. And indeed, here we have a very nice showcase. So you talk about Weber, and we have here very large pearl from Weber with this pendant. And you can see also, we just talked previously about the Baroque pearl, so no symmetry axis, and you see this pearl is really quite large. It's probably what we call a soufflure. So there is probably hair inside. It means when the pearls created, there is some problem inside the oysters, and it means the pearl sac is a bit distorted, and that's why you have these very large pearls and very non-symmetrical pearls. For example, here, I don't know if you can find, thank you, Alice, to have this very nice pearl here on the left. And I told to you also previously about porcelaneous pearls, about non-nacreous pearl. And here we have a fantastic example, very large pink pearls from Strombus giga, so this gasteropod, very large, like a snail, living in Central America, that you can hit. Not too bad, apparently, I never tried, but you can find sometimes this pearls, this conch pearl, and it's very difficult to see, but there is a flame aspect when you move with the light. It's not exactly the same chemistry, it's not exactly the same composition, it's carbonate, calcium carbonate, but not exactly on the same 3D organization. And you see here the color is bring by some natural, of course, ingredients that give this very specific pink color. Here it's a very nice brooch by Cartier. And if you have a close-up, you can see also there is an organization with the diamonds. These small diamonds with the pearls. Here are natural pearls, very nacreous pearls. This one, the white cream pearls. And in between, some diamonds. It was really a very modern and a really fashionable way to create the necklace also at that time with a diamond in between the pearls. We call it in French the rouelle, like a small wheel, a petite roue, a small wheel, and this is really the way to cut the diamond. It's very rare now to find it, but I find it every time very elegant to have it this way. Let's continue our program inside the different showcases, and we will meet Léonard with the famous portrait of a famous pearl dealer.
Indeed, maybe one of the most important pearl merchants from the early 20th century in Paris was Léonard Rosenthal. There were hundreds of pearl merchants in the Rue Lafayette in the early 20th century, but it all started with Léonard Rosenthal. You have to understand that before 20th century, most of the monopoly for pearl business was owned by the British through India. But from 1906, this man, Léonard Rosenthal, went directly to Bahrain, to the Gulf, to trade directly with some of the pearl merchants, being able to cut all the circuit and to practice higher prices, both in Bahrain and in Paris. And in only a very few months, he literally became the king of pearls in Paris, taking all of this market so that new merchants could go directly from the Gulf, and that also merchants from Bahrain, from Kuwait, from Qatar, from the Emirates would also come sell their pearls in Paris. This painting by Michel Simonidi was painted in 1910, so only 4 years after the first time Léonard went to Bahrain, and you can see he is already the pearl king. He's very elegant, he's wearing a pearl also on his tie, and he will he will write books, biographies also. He will be the personification in a way of this success. Investing in real estate, he will open the gallery in the Champs-Élysées with big architectural projects in the Porte Maillot. He will also produce movies by Sergei Eisenstein in Paris, meeting very important people. And maybe one of the most important connections will be with Corbusier, the French architect, whom he met in 1925 in the Art Deco exhibition, l'exposition des arts décoratifs et industriels modernes in Paris. But we will come back to this exhibition in a few minutes. We really wanted, during this exhibition, to show the most beautiful necklace, some of the exceptional necklaces, which were already exceptional at that time, and they are all here next to Olivier. Here are 3 pearl necklaces, which are almost impossible to find today on the market. They're like the Mona Lisas of pearl necklace in a way, and for 3 different reasons in a way. The first one is quite spectacular, quite bold. Can you tell us, Olivier, what makes it so exceptional?
Exactly. I think you have maybe really the large, and you can see really, and you can witness really the very soft variation of color, of hue, of tint of these pearls. They are all natural pearls, of course. You can appreciate really the size of the pearls. 5 rows of the most exceptional colors, the most exceptional size, and also the quality of the surface, which is a criteria very important for natural pearls, for pearls in general, but specifically for natural pearls. And here, the owner told us that it's in fact 2 generations to assemble, to be able to find all the pearls, all one by one. So it's a necklace started by the father of the next dealers, who spent a life, and after her daughters really achieve this piece. Just to tell you, it's very complicated. It's a rarity of nature. So to be able to assemble, to find, to pair these different pearls is really an exception. We talk about Rosenthal, and the grand-nephew of Léonard Rosenthal told me that in Paris they had, at the most important times, 3 floors, just in a street just nearby, 3 floors where they were working and pairing all the pearls, and more than 100 enfileuses, 100 employees were working every day, and they produced 100 pearl necklaces a day. So can you imagine the stock, the amount, the quality of the pearls they need to be able to create this necklace? And you see this one, it's 2 generations, really the quality. We are really happy to have this necklace. And here we have another one, 5-row necklace, and you can see really the sparkle, the brilliance, the state of these pearls is also amazing.
Exactly, you need more than a lifetime if you want to pair together such polychromous pearls, but also such monochromatic. Really, to find the true twin sister of each of those pearls is really an amazing craft. You have to build an eye, you have to build a memory also, to have a pearl library in your mind, so that when you travel, you think about this necklace, you say, okay, this pearl might fit in this necklace. This is really a craft on its own, pearl pairing, and in a way, those 2 necklaces are exceptional. We have many colors inside of those natural pearls. Here it's very monochromatic, almost perfect. And here we have only 1 row of pearl, but those pearls are also quite exceptional.
It's extremely rare to have black pearls. So Léonard told you previously in the showcase about black pearls. They are natural black pearls. They are very rare. You can find it in some different species, not exactly the same as these other white cream pearls. These oysters usually I found in Central America, in Polynesia, but it was not very well known at that time. So mainly Central America. And you can see here the size really and the quality of the pearl. The vibration also is very difficult to pair so many rarities, but here the ensemble, the necklace is really exceptional. The color is natural, but at that time, again, no culture pearl. Some of the natural white pearls were tinted to change the color, because it's such a rarity, so even they preferred to treat the natural pearls white to have them becoming black. So again, this is really a rarity. Probably was part of the Queen of Spain inventory. So it's really one of the most necklaces we have here in the exhibition. Let's follow our path in the exhibition, and we will meet Léonard in the next showcase.
So So welcome in 1925. We are in Paris in the Exposition des Arts Décoratifs et Industriels Modernes, a huge event with millions of visitors in Paris. And even though you could imagine that people could have started to get sick of pearls with all those creations we've seen before, well, the trend really did not stop. It was quite the opposite, in fact. With the Art Deco era in the 1920s, there was a new trend, a new approach, a new look also for pearls. We were not only looking at tiny golden and creamy pinkish pearls, but there was a quest for monochromy, from geometry, for high contrast, also in the 1925. And you could notice that in this exhibition, all our scenography by our dear Dushitsa was made in black and white. And for her, pearls were a gem from the black and white era. And in a way, it's true, because you have to understand that if you were going to a movie in the 1910s or the 1920s, there were not so much rubies, emeralds, or sapphires on screen, because of course you could not show the color, but there was pearls everywhere. And what is interesting is that if you go to this exhibition in 25, you'll see actually jewelry in black and white. In a way, jewelers really took this opportunity to pair, to have pearls matching with onyx, with lacquer, with black enamel, to create those beautiful pieces. Here, maybe the most explicit will be this vanity case from the Maison Van Cleef & Arpels, where you can see really how the box is paved with natural pearls, which are all of the exact same color. So really, it's like a white screen on a black box. And this is also typical of the 1920s. You can really see that you don't only have rings, necklaces, or earrings with pearls. Actually, any luxury object, either a watch from Cartier or hat pins, chevalier, could be set with natural pearls, and even bags for the night.
Yes, indeed. If you want to be precious, if you want to show really the luxury, you need to have pearls. That's really the pearlomania, the word invented by Léonard. Pearls are everywhere. And here we have a very, very nice example of a bag, a sac du soir, really a very luxurious bag for evening bag. And all are set, it's really embroidered with these very, very small pearls. We call it seeds pearls. They are very, very small, less sometimes at 1 millimeter. Can you imagine really the size of here? It's very movable, very soft, it's very elegant. And all these pearls, of course, they are not glued. They are drilled. And you have a thread inside to keep this pearl. Can we imagine? No. Nowadays we almost lost this craftsmanship. They are drilled with an archet. It's really a very ancient way to drill the pearls with very, very specific needles. So this one is by Van Cleef & Arpels. So we know different models from different jewelers. And we are really lucky to have it here. You can also see different way and different example here in this showcase. Some black pearls. Of course, every time you want to show the quality, the refinement, the luxury, you need to have pearls, and you can have black pearls. Let's dive in the next showcase to see more and more pearls.
Exactly, you were talking about black pearls, but the true trend from the early 1930s would be white jewelry, platinum, diamonds, and pearls. And here you can see some exceptional pieces by the Maison Van Cleef & Arpels and Templier with huge Baroque pearls. Why those pearls are alone in a way? Why do you only find one pearl in such creation? Is that it's because the jeweler really wanted to focus on exceptional pieces. You have to understand that in 1925, it was also the arrival of culture pearls in Paris. Olivier will tell you all about culture pearls in a few seconds. So in a way, a jeweler had to show how special natural pearls were also, and this is why such pieces are absolutely exceptional. So this will be the first approach in a way to highlight the quality and the rarity of such a beautiful biomineral. But there was also another approach. If you look at some creations by the Maison Boivin, for instance, or Cartier, you can see that yellow gold is coming back. and this is a very new phenomenon because there was not so much yellow gold associated with pearls ever since the late 19th century. Why is that? Is that you really feel it's because they wanted to come back to a kind of an Indian taste, an Oriental taste, maybe inspired by the provenance of such natural pearls, but to highlight this provenance and the fact that they're natural, but also maybe because such clients from those regions were also only willing to wear natural pearls because it was really their material, the material they would know the best. But it's not also, you have to understand that even though you have natural pearls and culture pearls of that time, culture pearls were also used by all the high jewelry maisons ever since the Second World War. And this, Olivier will show you a few of them.
Indeed, we are here with the culture pearls. Culture pearls arrived on the market after the Second World War. Indeed, you talk about, dear Léonard, about Art Deco in 1925. It was a presentation of the first culture pearls during the exhibition of Art Deco by Kokishi Mikimoto. It's a name that, yet you know, very famous for culture pearl from Japan. Kokishi Mikimoto and teams probably had the first culture pearls in the years 1899-900. But really commercially, in 1925, 1930s, they have really a large quantity of culture pearls. And because of pollution, because of overfishing, because also of different reasons for the oil in the Gulf, where it's a major production place to have natural pearls, really the culture pearls arrive on the market. And it's still a precious material used by jewelers. That's why we wanted to have this showcase here in the exhibitions with some example of white pearls, of black pearls used by jewelers in a very precious way. And here are the famous, for example, black pearls from Polynesia, so cultured black pearls, nacreous from Polynesia, with a bead inside, and they are very rare to assemble, to pair, to have all these black pearls from the same quality. And we wanted to show you also specifically this brooch by Maison Van Cleef & Arpels with really the very exquisite, very refinement, very luxury way to use the pearls in a very nice manner. Also, it's a very funny to represent maybe the soil for this plant, for this cactus. Here represented, depicted thanks to yellow diamonds, thanks to diamonds, thanks to onyx. So it's a very precious way to use the material, and the culture pearls are really used on this way at that time. Culture pearls are really important for that time. Maybe we can think that natural pearls are lost. There is almost no fisheries at that time, but still many jewelers decided to keep the natural pearls alive and still used the natural pearls. And actual jewelers, contemporary jewelers, still use natural pearls, and we will see it on the next showcase.
Exactly, Olivier. The history, the importance of natural pearls really didn't stop at the Second World War. Yes, we kind of ceased to fish for new natural pearls. It's only a very small phenomenon from now on, but there is still this stock jewelers can play with, and also those pieces that some specific clients, high-end clients, will also request. Here you have a few pieces from after the war, from the 1950s and 60s, showing Baroque pearls. So you can see Baroque pearls are very still very much in the picture. Baroque pearls were actually a phenomenon since the Renaissance, and it's quite interesting to see in this gladiator brooch by Van Cleef & Arpels kind of an homage to this Renaissance era with the Baroque pearl, with this. The jeweler really found the inspiration in the shape of the pearls, just like an artist from the Renaissance would do from the mannerism, but also from the 19th century, where there was kind of a new phenomenon, a neo-Renaissance in Paris. Here you can see it's kind of a third chapter to this beautiful inspiration, but also ducks. You can really feel that most of the designers were also playing in a way, in a very light way with this beautiful material. But not only Baroque, but large natural pearls were also, for the most spectacular, the most perfect ones, often set to jewelry pieces by Belperron, by Van Cleef & Arpels, for exceptional piece, for exceptional clients, obviously. This would demand a kind of a connoisseurship in a way to those clients. We would really request only natural pearls. And this is still the case today, and we are actually very happy and honored with Olivier to have two jewelry pieces created in 2023. And Olivier will tell you all about them, just to keep in mind that through the materials, through the effects, through the sensuality of the natural pearls, jewelers can still find inspiration today.
Thank you, Léonard. Indeed, we are here in the last showcase for the exhibitions, and thanks really to our learners, and thanks again for everybody participating to this exhibition. We are happy really to show to the audience these few examples of contemporary jeweler using natural pearls. I really love natural pearls, and even more, of course, when it's worn. The natural pearls needs to be used in jewelry pieces. We have a wonderful earring by Antonio Seijo, Spanish designer, and you see the way he used the pearls. Here, Maison Van Cleef & Arpels, who really found this incredible necklace and really modernized the style with mystery set, with diamonds, a very, very large piece. We will go back to the ship after. I wanted first to introduce this Theodoros piece. Theodoros is a young designer, really, really talented, and really, really kind to loan this piece, all in pearls. You see the very modern way to present the pearls. Black pearls, different colors of white, creamy pearls. Very, very refined with a line of diamond. I really love this piece, but maybe we can have few minutes to talk about this ship. It's probably one of my favorite pieces with pearls, with natural pearls. And when we decided to create this exhibition with Léonard, with the team, with l'École, with the School of Jewelry Art, I wanted absolutely to have this piece. I know this piece for a long time, by picture first, and then I had the chance to have it in hand a few years ago when it was sold at auctions. And really, to me, it depicts really the quality, the genius, the luxury, and really the creativity, again, the inventivity we can have with pearls. Pearls, sometimes we can think it's not so modern, it's not so actual, it's a bit old-fashioned. And in France, sometimes we think about this very ladies' fashion of one-strand necklace, but definitely not. When you see this last showcase, when you see the creativity, when you see the folly with this, for example, head, this brooch, really you can see that pearls are everywhere. Pearls are an exceptional material. Pearls are really fashionables. And I'm sure yourself, you can see more and more pearls for young men, for women, for everybody. So pearls are everywhere, and we are really lucky to show all this exhibition here in Paris for you, if you have the chance to come and to visit these exhibitions, or I hope through the screen today to have more information. We are here to answer all of your questions. Thanks a lot for your attention, and I will join Léonard in our Petit Escarboucle, our bookshop, where we can find and receive all your questions. Thank you.
Hello again. Thank you very much for your attention. We hope you enjoyed this talk together. Just before Olivier and Clara join me to answer some of your questions, I would like to tell you about the next conference that will follow in the 13th of May. This will be dedicated to the Renaissance jewelry. We talk a little about Renaissance jewelry together, and there is a beautiful exhibition coming up in the Bemberg Foundation in Toulouse. And this will be, I'm not saying much, I'm not spoiling the content, but it will be quite exceptional. We are very happy to have it. Maybe we have a few minutes to answer your questions.
Have you talked about this wonderful book?
We need to talk about the place where we are now and to this beautiful book. We are in the Petit Escarboucle, the Little Escarboucle, which is our bookshop for the exhibition, where you can find many books on pearls and all other topics for jewelry, gemology, craftsmanship. And we are very happy to have also the catalogue of the exhibition, which contains all the pieces you've seen, but actually many more. If you want to know more on this topic and if you want to dive to this Parisian Perlomania, please come read our catalogue. It was quite a pleasure to work on this beautiful topic. I hope we were clear, but maybe you have a few questions, and we'd like to thank also Clara for keeping track of some of them. Maybe Clara, we have a few questions already.
Yes, of course. Thank you for this guided tour. It was fascinating. First question, maybe an expert question to begin with. Is it possible to see just with the eye? Is it a natural pearl or a cultural pearl?
Yes, you're right. That's a very, very good question. Indeed, material and the nacre, really the outline, is exactly the same material for cultural pearls or natural pearls. But you understood that really the process of growing is totally different. And I would say almost yes. If you are really used to work with natural pearls, like I did really in my previous life at the French Gem Lab, when you have this natural pearl in hand, you have a very, very good sensation, I would say. Of course, if you look through the drilling hole, you will have some clues. So it's really easy if the pearl is drilled. If the pearl is not drilled, really, you can have some clues with the surface appearance, surface defect. They are not exactly the same for natural pearls and cultural pearls, but it needs really a lot of practice. And obviously, the only way to do the difference is by looking really the interior, so by X-ray, so you can see really what is the birth process for the pearls. Is it from a graft, from a bead? This is really obvious at X-ray, or with nothing inside, and this is for a natural pearl.
Thank you, Olivier. Maybe an historical question about Rosenthal family. Is it true that the Rosenthal went to Margarita Island before moving their sourcing to Bahrain, and how is it sourced?
Absolutely. It all started in Venezuela. Actually, it's a family from Eastern Europe coming to Paris in early 20th century, but given that they wanted to invest in the pearl business, they had to start it on the coast of Venezuela, so in the north of South America, where you can find Margarita Island, Margarita meaning a pearl in Latin, and still today you can still see a mermaid statue which was given by the Rosenthal family to the Margarita Island, and it's true that some of the business started there. But as Olivier was saying, this provenance of Central and South America for natural pearls was quite complex, was also getting rarer and rarer because of overfishing during the Renaissance. So the Gulf was a much better source for natural pearls for the European markets. And we can also say that after the Second World War, the Rosenthal will keep on with pearls, but this time in Tahiti with cultured pearls. It is still the Rosenthal family who had a pearl farm near Papeete.
I just wanted to add one point, maybe it's the next question, but the largest pearl in the world was discovered near Margarita in Central America, which is named La Peregrina. Maybe you know this pearl, which is a very famous pearl, owned by Elizabeth Taylor, and after different owner, but it's a very famous pearl, the largest pearl in the world, and comes from this region.
And also the oldest natural pearl we know today, maybe it will change in a few years, but the oldest pearl known today comes from the Mexican Gulf. So once again, from this region, there was pearls already
rich region
in thousands of years before.
Thank you. We have a person who is wondering where is the main origin place of black pearls, so maybe Tahiti?
For black pearls, it depends if we talk about cultured pearls or about natural pearls. For culture pearls, maybe the easiest way, and for us to have these pearls in hand, probably from Polynesia, French Polynesia, Fiji island, Cook's Island. So Pinctada margaritifera, this is oysters who provide these black pearls. And yes, these are main regions. Sometimes you can find it also in natural pearls. And these are oysters coming preferably from Central America, different species, but nowadays very, very rare to find it. So Central America for natural pearls, and Polynesia, Cook's, Fiji for culture pearl.
Thank you, Olivier. Could you give a recommendation to the public on where to find out about the latest trends on how to wear pearl, and is it a region in the world who is more eager to wear pearl?
Pearl is still a global phenomenon, and it's quite interesting to see that both in Asia, in the US, in Australia, in Africa, in Europe, there are still many, many pearls around. It is true that there is a coming back in a way of pearls recently, so you can know about it through magazines, through movies also, but maybe the best, if you want to see such beautiful pieces, be to visit the Place Vendôme, to visit those beautiful maisons, the boutiques all around the world, and you will see that, of course, the pearls are very much still in the picture.
Yes, you're right. So museums also sometimes display pearls or jewelry with pearls.
Absolutely.
And as you say, really, pearl is an incredible material. Probably one of the first gem material used by men, and still used. So of course, different time of fashion, more fashionable or less fashionable through the times, but still that's probably a unique case in our human history. Pearls are everywhere, found in tombs, found in high jewelry, found in costume jewelry. Imitation are very numerous. We didn't talk about the treatment, about the imitation of pearls, but well, pearls are everywhere.
Thank you both. And I have one final question, maybe the impossible question. If you need to choose just one piece of the exhibition, what it would be and why?
For you, I think I know the answer.
Well, I talk about the ship, and I told you how I was very inspired and how I love really this piece. So yes, probably my favorite piece would be the ship by Jarre.
And for me, it's not only a piece, but it's really the room of the 1910s, where we can highlight all those beautiful illustrations with pearls absolutely everywhere. I think when you like pearls, when you love pearls, you're always happy to see them in such quite a large quantity. So it's kind of a pearl festival in the central of the exhibition. All those illustrations by Barbier, by Ribes, and of course the one by Domergue.
We can finish maybe on this picture.
Exactly, we are so happy to find it because it is quite an allegory of the exhibition on its own. You can see all those pearls around the world, going all the way up to the Place Vendôme, which really is like an allegory for the title of our exhibition, Paris, capitale de la perle, Paris, city of pearl.
Well, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, dear Léonard. Thank you all through the screen. I know you are very a lot to attend this talk. We are really happy to do it here in Paris, inside the exhibition, Paris, capital city of pearls.
And thank you to all the team of Florent which was with us. See you very soon for another talk.
Thank you.